Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get this one started. What is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jada Sports Dude, coming to y'all live from my apartment. Hopefully, you all are staying at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic. And I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, folks. It is time for New Mexico State versus Chicago State. This is round 2 between the two squads from last season. And it is a part of our month-long journey to go back and watch as many of these games as we can from last year. There are a couple that we haven't been able to watch just due to some copyright claim issues, but we've been good so far throughout WAC play, and the Aggies have also been good. Perfect, as a matter of fact, as they are currently 8-0, right at the halfway point, and they're starting off that second half push here in Chicago with the game against the Cougars. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. But actually, before we get started, you guys know the deal by now. Let me go ahead and change the title of this video here on my phone, and then just use my phone to make sure that I am in frame and all of that good stuff, and then we'll get this one started. But that should only take 1 second right here. Okay, so I am in frame, and let's change this. Right now the title says versus Grand Canyon, which was last night's game, and we are making this Chicago State game number 2. Alrighty, folks, let's get into this one. So a bit of a homecoming game for Evan Gilliard, as he is a Chicago native. Got an offer from Chicago State, as a matter of fact, coming out of high school. However, ultimately went to UTEP before transferring to the Aggies. He has the ball here. He's giving it to Jabari Rice. Aggies still without Trevelin Queen, so Terrell Brown still in the starting lineup here. Speaking of which, can't handle the pass there, and that's going to be backcourt violation on the Aggies. Cougars ball now. The gym here pretty much empty. I'm going to go and look at the final box score and all that kind of stuff. And it should have the attendance there as well. But the crazy part is there are more Aggies fans than Chicago State fans here because of this one section over here. We'll see it once we get to like half court. And the majority of that, as we see a 3-ball there, no good. The majority of this right here is Evan's family and friends, which is pretty cool. They had like blow-up heads of Evan's face. They took some photos with Evan after the game that he posted on social media and all that. So yeah, he brought quite a big crowd. The majority of the people there were New Mexico State fans, which is pretty funny. And just Evan Gilliard fans, to be exact. But yeah, I'm pulling up the box right now as we see Evan driving, and he will get fouled. Let's see. They didn't list the attendance for this game, so we'll never know. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hopefully y'all are doing well, having a great day. My day's been good so far. Good start to the week. Cannot complain. A little look at what I got going on this week. I have the latest episode of Stray Shooter with Johnny McCants, which will be coming out on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So you see Jabari with a nice pass to Yvonne, but he can't finish. We have the Aggie mailbag, which is going to be Thursday. That'll be an article and a video version at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And then on Friday, I'll have a feature article for some high school football. It'll be on Armando Villescaz, who is the Las Cruces senior running back. As we see Jabari with the steal there, the Euro step, and he'll get blocked. Aggie's hustling back though. Yeah, I've got a feature article on him. I think he's going to be one of the top running backs in town this upcoming season after pretty much getting the scraps of touches last season. So those are some things we got. We're also going to have the story and video on Nick Gonzalez's brother, who's stationed out in Japan, courtesy of Jason Groves, who is on vacation this week. However, he was kind enough to leave that for me where I can publish it whenever. So we'll probably do that tomorrow if he's done with it in time. So that's just a look at what we got going on this week. And of course, if there's any sort of breaking news with the schedule, maybe with some waiver results for New Mexico State basketball, of course, I'll be covering that as well. Yvonne defending down low, Jabari with the board. Aggies with a 2-0 lead right now. And there's Terrell going to that wing. He will get fouled before he can pull the trigger there. Okay, so I got the final box score pulled up and everything. I can't find it by half for some reason. Sometimes that happens on road games. So we won't be able to look at the box scores at the midway point of this game like we normally do, but we will look at it at the end of the game. Alrighty, Evan with the ball right here. 17:42 left in this first half. 16 on the shot clock. A little bit hard to see the shot clock from this angle. I'm not a big fan of how this game's being filmed with the camera angle here. So we got Evan driving, kicking it to Johnny. Good defense from the Cougars so far. Got Johnson handing the ball off here. There he is. This is the team's leading scorer. Point guard, and he's going to turn it over. That's one of the big problems with this game, is that his assist-to-turnover ratio was towards the bottom of guards in the WAC this year. Really big problem for him, as you see. Jabari Rice knocking down the shot. So as good of a scorer as he is, applying a little bit of pressure, he doesn't really handle it too well. I don't know the exact stats for his assist-to-turnover ratio, but definitely whenever the Aggies brought a full-court press or anything like that, he and the rest of the team were pretty turnover-prone. Evan guarding him right here. Two of the faster guys in the conference going at it there. No one's going to stay with Chicago State. Tidley Gibbon, appreciate you for tuning in. That's a new name that I have not seen yet. If I remember correctly, this was a very poor first half, and I think Chicago State was winning or really close. Yeah, the Aggies didn't come out very strong in this one. I think you're correct. The Chicago State did make a push towards the end of this first half here. Yeah, this is not one of the Aggies' better performances. You see them kick it out right here. Terrell Brown, corner pocket, no good. Going the other way. And to Chicago State's credit, I think they played much better defense this time around as opposed to last time. For those who are watching the stream, when they played for the first time at the Pan Am, you could just tell they were bringing a full court press, but they weren't actually trapping with the full court press. And so it's just very easy for the Aggies to get back, break the press, and then get an easy bucket. It just didn't seem very organized defensively, Chicago State. But they did look like they put together a much better effort this time around. As we see Terrell drawing the charge, these Aggie guards always looking to get that call. 5-0 New Mexico State with 15:23 left in this first half. There's a look at A.J. Harris and Trevelin Queen still sitting out. Although Trev should be coming back in a couple games. Let's see. He came back for Seattle. We'll see when this one is. We are at exactly the midway point. Yeah, so the next game after this is UMKC, and then the one after that is Seattle. So Trev not gone for very long. Came back way ahead of schedule. I think he was supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks, and he came back in 3 weeks. So we had CJ open down low. Said he's going to get onto the perimeter. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Yeah, Will didn't turn around. If he would have, they had CJ down low. But it's going to go the other way instead. 5-0 Aggies still. Yeah, it's a pretty low scoring first half from what I recall. I wish that we had the first half box score. We normally do, but for some reason they just don't have that available on New Mexico State's site where I normally find it. Johnson with the ball here, gets it down low to Solomon Hunt, the big fella. Two of the biggest centers in the WAC, Hunt and McNair. A lot of weight being thrown around there, a lot of muscle down low. CJ with the 3 ball, no good. Good job there by Will to swat that one out. Jabari gets him on the pump fake, the layup, no good. A little bit sloppy to start here. That one's going the other way. Yeah, you can just tell the energy from Chicago State is different this time around. Just the amount of ground they're covering. A little bit of an update with Stray Shooter. I still haven't heard back from AJ Harris, so it's not looking like I'm going to have a double upload for you guys, unfortunately, which I was really trying to do, but you know, if the players don't get back to me, the players don't get back to me. Unfortunately, I can't really. Well, they're not required to talk to me during the summer anyway, so. So yeah, but we do have one with Johnny McCann. So the video's already been edited and everything, so that'll be out on Wednesday, followed by the Aggie mailbag. I am collecting questions for Aggie mailbag starting today, so if you guys have any, feel free to comment them below. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, as we see Evan missing the shot. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, that's @JTheSportsDude. You can find me on Aggie Alert. You can find me on Facebook, which is Las Cruces Sun News Sports, or you can email me, which is jmmartinez@gannett.com. So plenty of ways to get involved, and I hope that you guys do, because as long as you guys keep sending me in questions, that's how long I'll keep this series going. So, but anyways, Chicago State with the ball here. And we got a foul on CJ. For those new, I do have this video on mute, just because I found that it's pretty hard for you guys to hear what I'm saying and hear the commentators. Even though I've tried to find that balance with the volume levels, you guys say that it's still really hard to hear. So I went ahead and I just muted it. So there's going to be a couple times during this video, most likely it's a running trend, where there'll be some sort of call and I'll kind of just be trying to figure it out because I can't hear what they're saying. So bear with me on some of that. We got Chicago State trying to take the lead here. 5-5 with 13:01 on the clock. They'll do just that. 6-5 Cougars. Sean Buchanan with the ball here, as Evan gets a little bit of a break. Again, with Trev gone, it really hurt their height they were putting out on the floor. As you see, I guess in this situation, it's Sean Williams, who's a small forward, who I believe is listed as about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". Terrell driving, no good. And CJ with the extra effort. Yeah, you saw a little bit of Sean Williams at the small forward spot. You saw Jabari Rice, who's 6'4". You even saw Sean Buchanan, who I think is listed as 6'1", as a small forward, just because he knew the plays at the 3 spot. So Aggies had to get creative without a doubt with Trev gone. He's really their only true small forward, because DeJour Joseph also was injured for most of the season, and I believe he was 6'6", so he could have played. But he only managed to be healthy for, I think, 3 games. just a whole lot of adversity the Aggies had to go through this season. So props to everybody for stepping up. 7-6 right now. New Mexico State with the lead. A smidge under 12 minutes left in this first half. Sean Buchanan here set to inbound it. Yvonne driving. Oh my goodness. 2 bodies on him, doesn't matter. Nine to 6 now. And let's see, I believe this is Lewis with the ball here. Andrew Lewis. Team's his second leading scorer. Yeah, it is. Right behind Xavier Johnson. Another one of the more underrated players in the conference. Just a solid scorer, solid defender. And Xavier Johnson, that one's going high off the glass, no good. Aggie's going the other way. Looks like they're going to slow it down here. Yvonne working, kick out. Sean does not look for his own shot too often, but when he does, it usually is just a spot up 3 whenever they kick it out and he's open. That one doesn't cash in, but he didn't shoot the worst percentage from deep this past season. I can look it up right now. Didn't shoot the worst percentage, but the majority of them were just if the opponent's going to leave them open from 3, you know, you got to force them to respect it at least somewhat, you know. Let's see, Sean. Ooh, he actually shot 26% from 3. So actually, never mind, not too good. But again, that's just a secondary part of his game, facilitating the big thing for him, especially with AJ out all of last season. Really, his job was to penetrate, kick it out to the other shooters on the team. So he has the ball here, 10:40 left in this first half. I don't know if it's just me or not, but for some reason this camera angle, I feel like I don't know, it's just throwing me off a little bit. Maybe it's just me. Jabari Rice with the ball here. Sean Williams, corner, pocket, rocket. Got it to go. Still waiting to find out where Sean's going after entering the transfer portal a couple months ago. Still no word from both him and George Joseph, who also has left the Aggies. So we got a foul here. Yvonne trying to prevent that pass to Hunt. Were they calling a foul or just a kick ball there? Might have just been a kick ball. This is what I was talking about earlier. Where when it's muted, I kind of have to guess a little bit. That ball definitely was kicked though, but I don't know if there was a foul beforehand or not. Anyways, 12-8 right now. New Mexico State with the lead. Johnny on the wing here. Good spin move by Jabari and a tough finish. Again, putting on extra muscle last offseason. Still has a ways to go, but that really helped him become one of the team's best finishers this season. And then returning this upcoming season, I'm putting him up there as probably the best finisher on the squad, at least amongst the guards for sure. 3 ball there makes it 14-11. Sean with the ball here, top of the arc, gets it to Johnny. Looking for Yvonne down low. The double comes. That's something pretty much Yvonne saw for all of WAC play. And, as we see that one just sailing out of bounds by Xavier Johnson. Yeah, it's pretty much something Yvonne saw all of WAC play. It's just something that comes with being the best big man in the conference, I feel, as he was the eventual all-WAC first-team selection. But I think he did do a good job of recognizing when that double team was covered, coming and actually kicking it out to some of his teammates every now and then. Yvonne's not really the type to rush it down low. So patient. And that's what makes it so dangerous when you are going to double team him. Is that he does not crack too often. 14-11 with 8:41 left in this first half. Hopefully y'all having a good day, good start to your week. Mine hasn't been too bad. I already finished editing the video for Johnny, because luckily he got back to me. I think it was Thursday or Friday, before the weekend even started, so I was able to get that out of the way. So shout out to Johnny for that. Really looking forward to you guys seeing that video. It's a little less than 20 minutes long. I think it came out to around 19. And yeah, that one's a good one. We didn't have any audio problems. We have had that every now and then, but we didn't have any problems with it. And it came out really good. Really looking forward to y'all seeing that. Evan back in the game here. I'm wondering if they're going to show, zoomed in his family and friends there behind the scorers table, because that's all Evan right there, which is crazy. Because I remember seeing the photo that he posted after the game it was I'd have to imagine maybe 25 people, something like that. Johnny McCants, the corner pocket shot does not fall. It's still a 3-point game. Johnson with the ball here, gets it down low to Hunt, the reverse. Yeah, I actually like Hunt's game a lot too. Not all power down low. Is a good amount of some pretty decent footwork. A little bit of finesse to him, as you see with that reverse layup. Sean Williams here thought about the 3-ball. And then thought that was a teammate. But that was somebody on the coaching staff, so not the best there. 1-point game with 7:24 left in this first half. I would love to put together a not top 10 from the season and a top 10 plays from the season. Just do a video. Just make it separate. One top 10 on our YouTube channel, then one not top 10 on the YouTube channel. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me know if you guys think that will make for a good video or not. Because I've seen it, after going back and watching all of these for these live streams, I've seen a couple of not top 10 plays. We've seen Johnny go up for a dunk, as we see a foul on the floor beforehand. I think it was something at the Cayman Islands. I don't remember which game it was. But Johnny went up for a dunk and it just slipped out of his hand before slamming it. That could go there. We saw Sean throwing it there. I don't know if I could put together 10 though. I could definitely put together 10 top plays. That's for sure. You look at Jabari Rice's game winner. You look at Trev, that off the backboard dunk against Cal Baptist. There was a lot that you can do. Johnny had plenty of putback dunks. That would have been good. Yvonne had that reverse dunk in the game against Seattle. I remember that one for sure. Yeah, I could definitely have enough to put together a top 10. Not top 10 might be a little hard. 15-13 right now. Aggie's already in the bonus with 7 minutes and 1 second. Aggie's retreating on the full court press. Just Evan trying to guard Xavier Johnson. I don't know. Is it Xavier, Xavier? I never know how to pronounce it. I kind of just go back and forth on it. I usually say Xavier though. Well, here he is with the ball here. Good pass right there to Hunt, but he can't finish. Evan going the other way. Putting the moves on him. CJ thought about that one. He's going to pass it up. One guy not passing it up is Sean Williams. That one's no good. Good hustle there by CJ, although it's going to be a foul. Sean Williams definitely not shy about letting it fly from behind the arc. Again, I think there was a lot of unfair, there was some slander going towards Sean Williams when he did enter the transfer portal. I saw a bunch of people saying that he's not D1 level, that he just wasn't ready for the system, all this kind of stuff. I definitely think he had his inconsistencies. His three-point shooting percentage wasn't good for somebody whose game pretty much relies on a three-point shot. But I do feel like he was kind of rushed into adjusting to the system because of all these injuries. He was asked to play positions 1 through 3. He was asked to really sacrifice his role after being the lead or one of the top scorers at Eastern Carolina. I think it was a lot to ask for him. So I definitely think he would have had a better outing this upcoming year as a senior, being one of their spark plugs off the bench. But unfortunately, he did enter the transfer portal so he could be closer to family back in Arkansas. And we'll see where he goes. He's definitely still worthy of a D1 roster spot. Free throw number 1 here. It is good. 16-14. Yeah, a real grinded out game so far. Honestly, just a pretty sloppy game from both teams so far. And I mean, if you're Chicago State, this is the best case scenario right here. It's just these, pretty much, for lack of better words, just these ugly type of games. That's really the best chance Chicago State has to keep up with New Mexico State. Corner pocket by Jabari, not good. Johnson with the ball, swings it around. They are not calling a travel there because that ball was tipped. So that's why I didn't see anything. Johnson driving. And we got a charge call. That is Johnny drawing it, although we see Jabari hit the deck way over there too. Johnny's drawn a couple charges this season up to this point. I want to say it's around 4 or 5 for him. This whole team, I mean, again, I don't have the exact stat because I couldn't find it anywhere, but I think it's pretty safe to say that the Aggies led the WAC in charges drawn too. You look at Evans, Sean, Terrell, Jabari, even Johnny. Big men are getting in on it too, you know. Something they do really well. Evan extending his range, knocking it down. You know his friends and family want to see that. You can see they got the big head right there behind the scorer's table. And he had a good game in this one too. I don't want to say the final stats because we'll look at that once the game's over, but yeah, he had a good game. We see him again here. The spin move got it to go. Tough. The speed, man. A one-man fast break. Without a doubt. And I do think that he's going to have a lot less pressure on him this upcoming season with CJ Roberts in the mix now, where he's not going to have to be the only guy facilitating really for them. I think he averaged around 7 or 8 points per game last season, and I could see him getting up to double digits while still averaging around maybe, I don't know, about 3 to 4 assists per game, something like that. You can definitely see that out of Evan. But he did a really good job of finding that balance this past season. Just purely out of necessity for New Mexico State. They really needed guys to swing that ball around. So we see a brick there. Jabari going the other way. He's going to attack. He cannot finish. 21-15 with 4 minutes left in the first half. Chicago State hanging around right now at home. In front of pretty much opposing territory, honestly. Lewis trying to break the double team, cannot do it. Yvonne with the steal, one of his few steals of the season. Gets it to Terrell. A little contact, doesn't matter. Looks like we got a quick timeout. Shout out to NM Aggie Athletic Archive. As always, we're providing the video for us. That's how we've been watching all of these live streams, with the exception of a couple games that they didn't have. But definitely, if you guys haven't checked out their YouTube channel, make sure to go do that. Show them some love, because they have all but a couple of games from last season. They've got a couple from the year before that, and they have some New Mexico State football games as well. So plenty of reasons to go and check them out. Terrell at the line here. Cameron Montaño says, what did I miss? Pretty sloppy first half so far. The Aggies starting to pick it up right now in these past couple minutes. But this is a pretty low-scoring game to start it off. And then Stephen M says, happy Monday to you as well, Stephen. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Been having a good day. Mine's been pretty good. Just quick run through on what we're doing this week. We are going to have the story and the video of Nick Gonzalez's brother, who's in Japan, courtesy of Jason Groves, the sports editor. We'll have that this week. We'll have Straight Shooter with Johnny McCants. AJ still hasn't gotten back to me, so double upload isn't looking like it's going to happen, unfortunately. We will have Johnny McCants on Wednesday. We'll have Aggie Mailbag on Thursday. Today's the day I'm starting to collect questions, so if you guys have any, make sure to do that. And then on Friday, I'll have a feature article on a high school football running back from Las Cruces High School, Mando Viescas. So yeah, that's pretty much the slate for this week. Obviously, with the exception of any breaking news that might happen, we're still waiting to hear from the New Mexico State schedule. Maybe some decision on AJ. There's no timelines on either of those, so if anything happens, breaking news-wise, of course, we'll be covering that as well. But that's just a look at what we got going on this week. So we got Terrell getting to the line here. Also, I couldn't find the first half box score for this game, so we will not look at that at halftime. We'll just have to look at the final box score at the end of the game. For some reason, they don't have it available here. Second free throw attempt for Terrell. This one's up, and this one is good. 26-15. Aggies starting to pull away after Chicago State stayed pretty close for the first about 15 minutes of this first half. Lewis with the ball here, trying to put the moves on Williams. See what we had here. This one's going to stay with Chicago State. Yeah, again, this is mostly New Mexico State fans in attendance here, because this is a returning game for the Chicago native, Evan Gilliard. When you guys see half court over here behind the scorer's table, it's going to be a lot of Aggies fans, and that is pretty much all of Evan's friends and family. He had a very large group out there, as you can see right there behind the scorer's table. And he showed out. He had a good performance in this one of his better performances of the season. Sean driving, but that one's no good, and Yvonne cleaning it up, helping his fellow senior out. 28-15 now, with 2 minutes left in this first half. Aggies have been in the bonus since the 7-minute mark of this one. So some early foul trouble for Chicago State. Tough three ball there by Lewis. That one's not going to fall. New Mexico State going the other way. Sees that, yeah, Sean in the corner there. No call right now, so we're still playing. Kicking it out. Good pump fake there by Sean to get a much better look. Eluding Andrew Lewis. And we got a double up right now, 30-15. Are they saying he was on the line? Because I could have sworn it was 28-15, right? Maybe they're saying he was on the line there. Either way, good patience from him to get that better look. So we got a foul here. And that's Johnson drawing the foul, I believe. Yeah, it's Johnson. Team's leading scorer. Feels like we just watched the Chicago State game, what was it, just a couple days ago? So these weren't spaced too far apart. Let's see when it was. I think it was, oh no, it's not. Because this was what, their second game of conference play? Yeah, no. So I'm wrong. It's been a while. About 6 games in between this one. We are at the halfway point for WAC play. 8 games already in the book. This is the 9th one out of 16. So we're reaching the home stretch of this journey of ours to go back and watch as many games as possible, because unfortunately we don't have the WAC tournament or the NCAA tournament. I would have loved to have covered and rewatched those games. But yeah, we're getting down to it, to the finish line here. It's been fun though, man. Like I said, I really don't, as much as I remember certain like highlight plays, a few top players from the opposing teams, more specifically with non-conference. With conference play, I'd like to think I know a little bit more about the rosters. But there's a lot of stuff I don't remember, you know? Because I don't go back and watch the full games. I'll go back and look up certain plays whenever I'm doing film, you know? So this has been good to just get a refresher on everything. I believe that's Yvonne drawing the charge there. I wasn't really looking at the screen there. I believe that was Yvonne drawing the charge. So I just saw him flying. 32-15 right now with 39.3 seconds left. Terrell's going to let this one roll to save a little bit of time here as Sean gathers it at half court. A little bit of a sell there by Lewis, and the ref is not buying. They're saying the elbows. I don't think it was. I don't think we got any replays on this video, but yeah, I didn't see any of that. So since the Aggies are in the bonus, this is automatic free throws, and I guess it is the double bonus now. So first one is good for Sean Williams. One more on the way, trying to make it a 19-point game. Aggies have already blown this one out of proportion here. I want to say the score was something like 18-15 before this run, around there. So just a dominant stretch here in this final, about maybe 5 to 6 minutes. That's all the Aggies needed to pretty much make this a runaway game here. The shot clock is not off. There's about a 2-second difference, it looks like. Kind of hard to see the shot clock from this angle. So we see the bucket there. Clock is still running. One little heave here. Oh, maybe if that was handled better, Vaughn could have gotten it off. But either way, 34-17 at halftime. A little double up for the Aggies. And again, we don't have the first half box score, so we're not going to be able to look at it. So we're just going to go right here into the second half. Cameron Montano says, when are you collecting questions for Aggie Mailbag? I'm collecting them right now, starting today. So if you have anything, feel free to comment, email, Twitter, Aggie Alert, any way you want. Yeah, always looking for about 3 to 5 questions. So, and I started collecting it today by posting one on Twitter, but I don't think, there's been a couple of people who sent me, but they're really short answers. It's like, is there a timetable for AJ? The short answer is just no. Like, there's not much to really go in depth on. So I don't have any questions yet. I need to post it on Aggie Alert. as soon as this live stream is over, I'll post it on Aggie Alert saying I'm collecting questions. That's normally where I get a lot of instant feedback. But yeah, starting today, and then we'll have the video out on Thursday. Hopefully I can have all the questions already in by tomorrow, so I can write the article and record the video. So that way I don't have to do it on Wednesday like what I did last week. Second half underway, first minute already gone, and Jabari Rice is attacking here. He'll go to the line. 34-17. Aggies in control. Rocking the black uniforms, my favorite uniforms for New Mexico State. Just a really clean look in my opinion. But honestly, there's no jerseys that I dislike for New Mexico State. I think they keep it pretty simple, and to me those are always the better jerseys, where it's just a cleaner look. I think the thing I like about New Mexico State for their jerseys is that they keep a clean look, but then the font is something that pops, and to me, I think I like that. Like for the home jersey where it's the Aggies in cursive, that little thing, just having it in cursive I think looks pretty cool. And you look at their throwback one where it's just a different logo, but other than that it's just a clean white jersey. I think that's sick too. Just gives a pretty like classic look to it. Or like the road jersey where the font is in like in a circle and the number in the middle. I think that's pretty cool. I'd rather it be like a different font or a unique font than like some sort of crazy design, you know. As we see, I believe that is Jabari with the putback. Something he does so well, especially as a guard. 4th in the team in offensive rebounds last season. Makes it a 20-point ball game, 37-17. That's a great pass. Jeez. A bullet of a pass there to Lewis. And he will finish to make it an 18-point game. Evan with the ball here. Had a little scoring burst. I think he had a quick little 5-0 or 5-0 burst in the first half. What are they saying here? They're calling it on Yvonne for extending his arm or going too high with the elbow. I believe so. I think I saw the ref go like that. $18-point ball game with 17:46 left in this one. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Hopefully y'all are doing well, staying safe, having a great start to your week. And okay, we're calling something else then here. I do have it on mute, as I always gotta say, so that way you guys can hear what I'm talking about. So that's why I didn't hear what that call was. We got a free throw here for Evan. Oof, rims out. And he's got one more. Okay. This is why I really wanted to find that balance between the commentator and me, so that way I don't have to just guess what's going on, but it's just the way we gotta roll with it. We got a 19-point game now. Aggies with the ball as well. Tomorrow night's game is going to be on the road against Missouri, Kansas City. Yeah, because game 1 was at home. Followed by Seattle at home, which is Trev's return. So that'll be a good one for sure. And that UMKC one was a good game as well, from what I remember. Another one where the Roos came out really strong in that first half. And they did have Javon White back in that game as well. Their 6'10" senior center who didn't play the first time around, and that one possession loss to the Aggies. So that'll be another good game to check out. But for now, we got 17 minutes and 20 seconds left in this one. New Mexico State had a pretty slow start to this, as we see a tough and one layup by Lewis, I believe, here. Yeah, New Mexico State had a pretty tough start to this one. I believe it was 18-15 with about 6 minutes left in the first half. And the Aggies went on something like an 18-0 run or a 16-0 run to really open things up. Can't convert on the and one play. I've been looking for Yvonne down low, but it's going to be a kickball staying with New Mexico State. Yeah, I am collecting questions for the Aggie mailbags. If you guys want to comment any, feel free to. I'll also be collecting questions on Twitter at JTheSportsDude. My email, jmmartinez@gannett.com. Facebook, the Las Cruces Sunday Sports Plays page. Or on 24/7 Sports, the message boards of the Aggie Alert. We see a nice lob there from Terrell to Jabari. First time we've seen that that combination all season. Pretty good pass there. A 19-point game, folks. Johnny defending on the perimeter here. Chicago State. And that is going to be a charge call. Evan drawing it there, and I believe that's the third one that the team has drawn so far. One for Terrell, one for Evan, and I think one for Johnny as well. No surprise, something they've been doing all season. If I had to guess, I'd say they average around probably 3 charges drawn. But I can't find anywhere that keeps track of that stat, unfortunately. 19-point game with 16-14. See Johnson taking a pretty rare break. They don't have a lot of depth, the Chicago State squad. So for the most part, Johnson's playing a whole lot of this game, but he is getting a short breather here. Being their top scorer and all. Williams with the ball here, gets it to CJ on the wing. .15 on the shot clock. And that is going to go the other way. Tidley Gibbon, appreciate you for commenting. He says, are the Aggies scheduled to play in any tournaments next season? They're not scheduled to play because nothing's been set for the schedule other than the 2 games against UNM and the 1 game against Santa Clara on December 23rd in Vegas. I would expect they're going to be in a tournament, but yeah, the short answer is that nothing's been scheduled yet, so we're not sure. Would have loved to have gone out to that Cayman Islands Classic, though. But just a little bit out of our budget, you know, sending me out there. But hopefully they have something this year. Jabari going the other way here. Swinging it around. Good find there to Sean Williams. Corner pocket rocket. Gets that one to go down 43-21. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, folks, whether you guys are watching this live or on replay, it means a lot to me. If you guys are enjoying this, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified every time that we upload something, because we are putting out plenty of content here. As Evan draws the foul, and he will get to the free throw line. 14:41 left in this ball game. I am messaging my sister about something right now. She needs some help with an essay, because anyone in the family that needs help with writing pretty much just reaches out to me for it. So I apologize, guys. I'll try to get this wrapped up real quick. This is the first day, though, I think, in all of these live streams where I've actually been texting someone that isn't work related. Usually there's always a coach, a player, design team, my editor, someone I got to talk to. But yeah, I do just want to get this out the way real quick. So my bad, guys. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. 45-21 right now. New Mexico State with the lead. Chicago State really just hit a brick wall after having 15 points with about 6 minutes left in that first half. Have not been able to get a whole lot going here. Good find there to Solomon Hunt. Again, for being a pretty big fella, he's got some pretty underrated mobility. Good hands as well. That wasn't the best pass there. He comes down with it. Pretty solid player for them. I'm not sure what year Solomon Hunt is. I know the team in general didn't have a whole lot of seniors, so I'd imagine he is coming back, but I can check that out really quick. Because I know that they are going to be without Xavier Johnson and Andrew Lewis. So I'm interested in seeing who's coming back. So Hunt is a junior, or was a junior this past season, so he will be coming back unless he entered the transfer portal. I don't remember seeing that anywhere. So I believe he is coming back. Andrew Lewis, a junior, and Xavier Johnson, a junior, but I'm pretty sure they entered the transfer portal. Let me check that out. Want to get that right. The problem with that is that they just don't get a whole lot of coverage in the Chicago area from papers and stuff, so it's very hard. Is that Sean Buchanan with the tough three? It's very hard to see any news on injuries or any news on them entering the transfer portal. I pretty much have to rely on Twitter when it comes to that. So that's a little bit annoying. They might actually be coming back. I'm not seeing anything. I'll have to look at it more later. Because, yeah, you just don't see any articles or anything like that written on Chicago State, unfortunately. I could have sworn that I saw Xavier Johnson going somewhere, though. But I might be wrong. Cameron Montaño says, for Aggie mailbag, if A.J. Harris comes back this season, what role will he have? Yeah, that's definitely a good question. I can answer that for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely go in depth on that one. Because I do think it changes the whole dynamic of New Mexico State and the rotation. Somebody brought it up in the last live stream. I think it was DP who said that probably it's going to result in Kalen Williams being redshirted. But after looking at the roster, I can definitely see that happening. But yeah, that's a good one. Appreciate you as always, Cameron. Always coming through with the good questions. There's a good amount of guys who just always come through with certain questions, like you, Tobias Rodriguez, always delivers a couple for straight shooter. There's somebody on Aggie Alert called I always pronounce it wrong. I apologize. I think it's Powake Aggie, 30 something. He usually contributes questions, so yeah, I always appreciate you guys for that. $50-26 ball game with 12:16 left in this one. You see a wide shot of the court there. We don't have the attendance on this game. I was trying to find it. Maybe there are some more people behind like this scorers table right here that we're just not seeing, but looks to be pretty empty here. Looks to be mostly New Mexico State fans here. Or fans of Evan, to be specific. Sean with the second free throw, trying to get the double up, and he does, 52-26. So we got 12 minutes and change left. Are they gonna keep this wide angle, or are we are we changing this angle? There we go. Whoa, the whole color of it changed too. So you see a three ball there. I didn't see who shot that because like the camera angle changed at the same time. But it is 52-29 now. Sean thought about that three ball, gets it down low to Big Will. Good stuff there. Putting his head down. That's the aggressiveness that we want to see more out of him this upcoming season. I still have him as my pick for the breakout player for New Mexico State. Even though I'm not predicting anyone to have the same breakout level as Jabari last season, because that was my prediction for last season. So I think it's going to be more of a marginal thing. But I do think Will is going to make some pretty good strides in his sophomore season. It's just a matter of being more aggressive, man. Taking advantage of that mismatch you're going to have most nights. At least down low. He might struggle if he faces a center and it's going to have to bring him out to the perimeter. But when it comes to being down in the paint, I think he's going to put up really good numbers. He's going to be at the top of the whack in terms of block percentage, I think. And then I think he can average a decent amount of points. I'll give him about, I think I said around ballpark of around 6 and 5 is what I'm seeing for him. Which for a sophomore is a good step, because he was averaging, I think, 1.6 points and 1.4 rebounds. So if he can get into that neighborhood that I'm talking about, that's definitely a step in the right direction for him. Karen Montano, Andrew Lewis, Solomon Hunt, and Xavier Johnson all returned for Chicago State this year. Appreciate you for looking that up. Yeah, it's always hard staying up to date with them, just because they don't get a whole lot of news coverage. But yeah, I mean, who's that shooting a three ball? Wait, I know that isn't Bryce. But with over 10 minutes left, already getting in this game and knocking it down, it looks like that Simmer, Tennessee. Yeah, that's Bryce. Shout out to him. Yeah, I think somebody asked me a couple streams ago if I felt that Chicago State could win a game this upcoming season. I think they could. I'll give them one or two. I think there's enough of a turnaround in the conference where so many teams are working with whole new rotations, that especially if they are bringing these guys back, there's got to be one game or two where they can catch somebody on an off night. Bryce lining up his shots for another one. That one's no good though. Sean gets it at the top of the arc. You know, if Sean's in the game, he's looking for Bryce or Tennessee. That's one of his favorite things to do, is get an assist to them, Bryce was telling me. Ball no good. Going the other way now. (59-34) with 9 minutes. So already we got Bryce getting in the game. I'd imagine we're going to see Tennessee pretty soon too then. Tiddly Gibbon says, McNair is the player I'm hoping has a breakout year next season. We can earn the minutes to play. I definitely think that there's a good chance he can get those minutes because they got a whole lot of question marks at that center spot. Mayan Kerr is still waiting to see if he'll be immediately eligible, but it's looking like, or at least as of right now, he won't be able to play until the start of the spring semester, so pretty much when conference play starts. Jacob Tryon is still waiting to find out if he'll be immediately eligible. He could end up sitting out the whole year, which is a real possibility of that. And outside of that, you know, Wilfred Lakai is the only other center coming back. However, he doesn't have any playing experience because he was out all of last season with an injury. So McNair is going to be the experienced guy with a year under his belt. I can definitely see, at least at the start of the season, him getting into that maybe 20 minutes per game range. And we'll see if that sticks once some of these other guys get into the mix, like Kerr or like Tryon if he's eligible. But for right now, I think the benefit of the doubt goes to McNair in terms of that starting center spot. But it is crazy that he's only going to be a sophomore, and yet he's going to be the guy with the most experience, you know? It just shows how much of a turnaround there is in that front court with Yvonne gone. There's definitely a hole to fill there at that 5 spot for the Aggies that I don't see anybody filling on their own this season, to be fair. I think it's going to be a lot of by committee. I don't see really any of the guys, whether it be Kerr or Tryon or Lakai or McNair, I don't see any of them having a year on that scale of Yvonne. So I think it is going to be a lot of, one night this guy's starting, one night the other guy's starting. I think everybody will get their fair shot at it. 61-36, New Mexico State with 8-11. Tiddly Gibbons says, maybe this is for the mailbag. With all those questions at center, do you think the Aggies changed their offense at all? Yeah, I can definitely add that to the mailbag. Yeah, the only reason why I didn't add the first one about the schedule is usually if it's just like a really short yes or no question, then I'll just answer it on stream right away, because I look for questions where I'll have longer answers, because I also do a video version, and we try to get our video to 10 minutes so that way it can be ad friendly. So that's why I just answered your first one there, but I can definitely add the second one to the mailbag. I appreciate you sending that in. Yeah, I can definitely add that. Talk about just what their playing style will be like next season. It's definitely a good one. 20-point ball game right now with 7:50 left to go. Aggies on top on the road, looking to improve to 9-0 in conference play, stay undefeated. And they'll have another road game after this against Missouri, Kansas City. It's a part of a really short 2-game road stretch before they return back home to face the Seattle Redhawks. Ball there, no good. Bryce with the rebound. Don't see a lot of rebounds from Bryce this season. Most of the guys who hang around the perimeter and whatnot. Not the most bounce or anything like that. Tennessee Owens in the corner, no good. Lewis pretty much just shoving Owens away there. That dynamic duo will be back in the mix this year. Tennessee and Bryce. Turning for the Aggies, so that's always good to see them back. Even though Bryce did technically graduate, because he was a senior this year. However, since he went from a manager to being on the team last year, he still had some eligibility left. So he is back in the mix. Both of them will just be walk-ons again, since the team already is pretty short-handed on scholarships. They're allowed 13, and as of right now, they have about 10 that I would say are locked in, with about 5 other players that are competing for that, 4 or 5 for the last 3. So yeah, that's in my Aggie mailbag if you guys want to check that out. The first one on lcstunnews.com. It should be a picture of Maya Kerr. I forget what the headline is, but I think it's like scholarship updates, rotation predictions, and more, something like that. So if you guys do want to get a better idea of what that scholarship situation is like, I go in depth on that in that article. There's no video version for that one. I didn't start the video version until the second edition, because that's when I just decided I just came up with the idea for it. But moving forward, any Aggie mailbag articles you guys see, there will also be a video version here on YouTube. It'll also be on the Sun News site. But it's the same questions, same answers, just one's a written version, one is the video version, depending on your guys' preference, I guess. Sullivan going to work down low, getting it to go. 19-point game with under 6 minutes left in this one. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, as always, as we are reaching the second half of conference play here, folks. The back end of this month and a half long journey. Yvonne tries the wraparound pass to Bryce, but it's broken up. Chicago State with the ball there. Bullet pass there by Lewis. Jeez, I think he even surprised his teammate there. Put a little frustration behind that one. Good little start and stop by Evan there. That's what I was talking about. He's got that blinding speed, but he doesn't just rely on only that in order to get by people. He'll actually have a little bit of shiftiness, a little craftiness to his game as well. Makes him a whole lot less predictable. And the Aggies are in the bonus. So we got Evan at the line here. There's that small ball rotation I'm talking about. Look at these. Just look at the Aggies players here. You got Evan, Sean Buchanan, and Sean Williams there down low. And I believe in this situation, this is Sean as the small forward. Yeah, it looks like it. Getting creative with the rotation. Shout out to the players. Shout out to the coaching staff for managing, making the most, I should say, of just a pretty stacked deck here with all these injuries. Although not for too long, since Trev is coming back against Seattle. Really, they could handle the A.J. Harris injury because they had other guards, with Evan being deemed eligible towards the end of non-conference play. But it's that small forward spot on the wing where they just had no depth, man. George Joseph really the only true guy height-wise that could play that backup small forward position, and he was injured. Then Trev as well. So a lot of guys playing a little bit outside their comfort zone here just for the better of the team. 16-point ball game with a smidge under 4 minutes left. Hunt with the ball here, going to work on Yvonne. That one's no good. Good straight-up defense there. Sean Buchanan going the other way now. as he will slow this one down. Maybe not. .339 left in this one. So once this game is over, we will look up my final score prediction to see how close I was to it. We'll look up the final box score, and then we will look up quotes from the team. Again, since it is a road game, and I don't actually interview the team after the road games, they send me quotes. I don't remember who we talked to, but we will find out in a little bit. So I'll check that out right now. I'll start pulling that up right now, actually. Get all of that set and squared away. Let's see. So we got Evan with the ball here. Up by 14 points are the Aggies. 3:24 left in this one, folks. If you guys follow this live stream, you know I always struggle to pull up these articles. I don't know what it is with our search engine, but it's one of the most frustrating things about my job here, is just trying to find old articles. I guess if that's one of my biggest frustrations, then I can't complain, but it is something that's pretty constant that just the whole staff has honestly had problems with, and we're not really sure how to fix it, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to find my score prediction for this one. Trying to think of other ways to search it. Yeah, not going to be able to find that, but I can definitely find the recap articles, so we'll have that up there. So we'll get our quotes. We talked to Coach Jans, and that's it for this game, so just Jans. So we'll look at that and the final box score once this game is over. I couldn't even guess what I predicted for the final score for this one. I want to say I had it somewhere around 20 points, but I have no clue, to be honest. 14-point game now with 2:15 left. Evan with the kick out to CJ. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Sean's going to kick it out to Sean again, and he will knock that one down. That's Sean to Sean connection. $17-point game now. So we are on the home stretch. The Aggies on their way to becoming 9-0 in conference play. Chicago State still searching for their first conference win after winning, I believe 3 or 4 games in non-conference play. A lot of them were NAI or Division II squads or JUCO, what have you. But yeah. They did play a couple teams close. I think they had one game where it was at 10 points, I think was their closest. But we'll see what they do this upcoming season with these guys returning, though. I don't know what that camera angle was right there. And they really need to just white balance it, too, because it's a completely different shade. I've said this a bunch of times, but when I was at UT Austin, I was on the film crew, so I would record all of the Texas football games and stuff like that. So whenever I see like the camera colors are super off, it just bugs me. Under a minute left now. Chicago State looks content to just get out of here pretty much, dribbling this one out. 9 seconds left on the clock. Corner 3, no good. And there is less than a second difference between this and the shot clock. But if I recall, I think the Aggies are just going to get up a shot at the last second and call it a day. I think I know the shot too, but I don't want to say it for those who don't remember it. Yeah. Yeah, I remember what this is. We'll see it right here. Tennessee with the ball here. He says, "You mind if I just pad my stats, bro?" Yeah, go ahead. Okay, cool. And Andrew Lewis just pats him on the back like, yeah, it's all good. I remember that play. I was going to show that to Tennessee when I did the interview with him and Bryce for Straight Shooter and be like, did you just check with Andrew Lewis before shooting that? Because, a lot of times it can be seen as disrespectful or whatever to some players. I was wondering what that little conversation with him and Lewis was beforehand, because then he patted him on the back afterwards, so I'm guessing they told him something. Like, I'm guessing they were talking before it. Just one of those little behind-the-scenes things that I would have liked to have known. But yeah, that is going to do it, folks. 71-49, New Mexico State with the victory, improving to 9-0 in conference play. Let's go ahead and check out this final box score here. For New Mexico State, it's Sean Williams leading the team with 15 points. Good for him. 4 for 9 shooting, 3 for 7 from deep, 2 dimes and 1 board. Both Evan and Jabari with 12 points. This is Evan's returning game to his home state, his hometown. He had 12 points and 3 boards on 2 for 5 shooting, 7 for 9 from the free throw line. And Jabari Rice with 12 points and 6 boards on 5 for 10 shooting. The Aggies shot 46% from the floor. That's 23 for 50. 32.1% from deep. That's 9 for 28. And then 80% from the free throw line. 16 for 20. They did get into the bonus with about 7 minutes left in that first half. So definitely they were cashing in on some freebies. And normally that free throw percentage is a problem for New Mexico State. So this is one of their better outings. For Chicago State, it was Andrew Lewis with 12 points and 3 rebounds on 4 for 11 shooting. And then Khalil Whitehead actually with 10 points and 2 rebounds. Xavier Johnson, the team's leading scorer, only finishes with 3 points and 1 board. So a good group effort there by Evan Gilliard, by Sean Buchanan, all those guys. 1 for 6 shooting for him. The team shot 46.2% from the floor, which is actually better than New Mexico State, surprisingly, but it's a lot less shots. 18 for 39. And I'm trying to find how many turnovers they had. Maybe I need to turn it sideways here. No, for some reason this shortened box score doesn't have it. But yeah, the Aggies had 29 points off of turnovers compared to Chicago State's 7 points off of turnovers, so that was a big difference. Chicago State shot 4 for 11 from behind the arc. That's 36.4%. And then they went 9 for 14 from the charity stripe at 64.3%. Another big difference there. Let's take a quick look at the quotes. We talked to Coach Jans after the game, and this is what he had to say about the team's slow start. He said, "I thought we were sloppy early. We had some silly turnovers, and we missed 3 or 4 layups in the first 10 minutes of the game that would have made a big difference. You have to credit Chicago State for coming out and playing really hard. Fortunately, down the stretch of the first half, we made some shots to get a little more comfortable, lead heading into halftime." Yeah, you do got to give some credit to Chicago State. I thought they came out with a lot more energy compared to the first matchup. However, they really don't have a whole lot of depth. If you guys looked at their bench, they didn't have a whole lot. Let me see how many guys actually played in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 7 guys got onto the court compared to 11 for New Mexico State. So you can kind of tell the fatigue was really kicking in for them. And I think that was a big factor in that second half. But overall, I thought they did come out to a good start defensively. And then a look at Jan's talking about the 27-game whack win streak that they were currently on up until this point. He says, certainly at this day and age, you got to talk about it because it's not like players aren't reading about it. We're going to take people's best shots and we embrace it. We realize that it's making us better. So there you go, guys. But that is going to do it for tonight's live stream. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we are watching the Aggies go on the road to face Missouri, Kansas City, which ended up being a very good game with Javon White back in the mix. You guys definitely want to check that one out. I hope that you join me for that. Other than that, I think that's all that we have to plug. I am collecting more Aggie mailbag questions, so feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at JTheSportsDude, on Aggie Alert. I'm trying to remember all of them because I say this all the time. On my email, jmmartinez@gannett.com. And then, what was the other one? Facebook, Las Cruces Sun Youth Sports. There's a whole lot of ways to reach out to me, guys. And even if you join the live stream tomorrow, you can just comment them there because I'll still be probably collecting them from today and tomorrow. Other than that, Stray Shooter, the episode with Johnny McCants, is coming out this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. It's going to be a little less than 20 minutes, about 19 minutes of really good content with him. So make sure to check that one out. It'll be here on our YouTube channel or on lcsunnews.com or on Facebook on our Las Cruces Sun Youth Sports page. Hopefully you guys are catching on to the trend here. There are plenty of ways to follow all of this content that we're putting out. So I hope that you guys are showing support to all those platforms. And I really appreciate those who have been. And then Thursday at 11 a.m. is going to be Aggie Mailbag. Also, the article version on lcsunnews.com and the video here on YouTube. But I think that's just about all that I have to plug. We might be done with this for tonight, guys. I think we are. This has been Justin Martinez, a.k.a. J the Sports Dude, and I'm out of here.